Software factories. I think that's the next logical step in agentic engineering. So shifting away from building the software to designing the systems that build the software. What people, including me, are currently doing is sitting in the terminal, building with the agents, moving one feature at a time and constantly steering the agents. So the question is, could this be automated? Then you'd have a software factory that turns an input into a finished build repeatably. Now, the specific input format would depend on the system, but I'm imagining something very close to a spec. Next, I'll make a mathematically very unrigorous analogy, but it helps to illustrate a few points that I want to bring up. And this is sort of the picture that I've been thinking about this with. So the software factory is a mapping from spec-like inputs to finished, ready-to-ship software. Now, a very crucial detail I'm overlooking here in this diagram. The input and output spaces don't actually look like this. Instead, they look something more like this. The space of possible inputs is tiny compared to the space of possible outputs, and only a very small subset of these are desirable outputs, meaning software that is production ready and aligned with the input. So fully functional, no vulnerabilities, no bugs, perfectly aligned with the vision, fully secure, ready to ship software. Now, stuff outside this very tiny subset is what we'll call slop. And this is the core of the problem. The hard part isn't building the machinery, the agent workflows, the harnesses, whatever, that take in a spec and produce something resembling a finished software product. It's very trivial to build an agent system that takes in a spec and produces something that lands somewhere in the stuff resembling finished software output space. The hard part is aiming the system to land in the desirable subset. Now, a system like this obviously isn't a mapping. That's just an analogy. Yeah, it's not even deterministic, but I think it's a useful analogy because it opens up the question, is a system like this chaotic? And I would assume yes, because you could imagine tweaking the initial condition, the input spec, even just a tiny bit, and even when taken to be entirely deterministic, seeing a completely different output. So what if instead we looked at a mapping from inputs to sets of, in some sense, equivalent software, where all the different implementations in a set share only the meaningful aspects, and we're discarding all the trivial stuff, such as UI, UX, functionally equivalent code, and all that, then would this mapping also be chaotic? Because if it is, then the tuning of the system would become tremendously more difficult. So we've established that the hard part of building a system like this is tuning it in a way that the outputs would land in the desirable subset. But let's think about what a system like this could look like in practice. So I'll share some design ideas that I've been thinking about recently. All right. This is the obvious first thing to try. I mean, we already have a proven system. It's you prompting coding agents. So what if we just swap you for a master orchestrator agent that then does the exact same Claude code prompting that you've been doing? The system is proven to work. So just swap out you for a AI agent. That's the idea. Now, problems and objections. We would need to extend the master agent's life, the session length, in a way for it to be able to persist indefinitely past its context limits. Also, this is a very human-like workflow, and even though it works for humans, it may not be optimal for agents. Now, a variation of this, we just add more coding agents with their own specific tasks, sort of like a company-shaped hierarchy. Again, with a master agent at the top, giving out commands to team leads of different departments, and then these leads would task worker sub-agents to actually build things. This has the same problem having to do with agent persistence. And again, company-shaped hierarchies are very human, so it may not be optimal for coding agents. Third option, task decomposition. We divided the task of building a production-ready software into phases, and each phase has its own phase-specific context and instructions. And again, we could add a master agent to oversee everything. This would divide the aiming problem into multiple smaller aiming problems, which could either be good and make it easier, or it could make it harder, as tuning errors in previous phases would propagate into subsequent phases. So the problem doesn't disappear, it just kind of changes form. Now, what you might have noticed is that the shared problem in all of these designs is agent persistence. For long-running complex tasks, a single session obviously isn't enough. I mean, we could try to solve this just by adding more and more master agents, extending the hierarchy upwards. So the idea would be that the top-level master oversees everything at such a high abstraction level that the whole build from start to finish can fit in its session context. But this may not be ideal for two reasons. One, the chain of command gets longer and it becomes a sort of a game of telephone. The risk of hallucinations and information not propagating efficiently increases with each layer. Two, a system like this would likely exhibit more chaotic behavior. The longer we make the command chains, the less control we have over what's actually being produced, the code that's being written by the bottom level workers. So I imagine that it would become more chaotic and thus more difficult to tune, which is the whole problem. So adding more layers of orchestrators likely isn't the solution. And I feel like extending the agent's life is a problem we're going to have to tackle head on. How do we make an agent persist, remove the context limits, and make it immortal? What different options are there to agent autonomy? Here are, very briefly, my first instincts or initial ideas. First, a new session tool. So basically, just a new tool for the agent that allows it to end its current session and start a new one. The tool would take in a prompt as an input, which would be the first user message to launch the new session. So I've actually built a very basic version of this just to try it out and see how the agents would behave with a tool like this. And here's the problem that I've run into with this approach. The new session starting mechanism actually works okay, but the amount of markdown files grows very large. The agent doesn't know or care enough to clean up at any point. So it reads a ton of context, the same markdown files over and over again, and isn't able to do all that much per session. So a ton of time and tokens just spent on reorienting itself to the new session, and it can't really get much done. So another option, which could keep everything in one single session, is a compact tool. Basically allows the agent to run a session compaction. This would allow us to stay in one session and just extend it forever. But compaction is pretty ass. It's not great. The agent has less control over what its context will look like after the persistence mechanism. But what I feel like is the bigger problem in both of these approaches is that the agent has to think about context management. And ideally, this shouldn't be something the agent has to think about. I mean, it's got enough stuff to juggle at once when it has to orchestrate building full software end to end. So making it also juggle its own context or session management may not really be ideal. So, third idea, run a babysitter agent alongside the master orchestrator, specifically in a way that the master agent isn't aware of its existence, but the babysitter silently manages the master's context or starts new sessions in a smart way. For example, it could write the perfect launch prompts for new sessions so that the agent's work would flow seamlessly from session to session. The babysitter would effectively act as the agent's subconscious mind. Also, before I end the video, as tuning is the main problem, I'm going to present a few initial thoughts or ideas on how a system like this could be tuned. First, this is how you build software end-to-end skill. Of course, it wouldn't be a skill, it would be a library of instruction documents detailing every part of what goes into building software. And by tweaking these instructions, we could aim the system to not produce slop. Second approach, I see verification or validation agents. If we go with a phase decomposition-based architecture for the system, then this would naturally happen between the phases. Or if we have a persistent master agent based approach, then we could include tools for the master agent to periodically spawn verification agents and check its work. And then by tuning the verification agents, we could aim the system. But either way, the aiming will be the slow, expensive, and difficult parts. But yeah, just some ideas that I've been thinking about, especially after Indie Dev Dan's video on exactly this. The jump in leverage, going from building systems to having systems that build systems, is huge. And specifically now, when that kind of stuff doesn't really exist yet, or at least isn't accessible to everyone. So the way I see it is that agentic engineering is a major opportunity, specifically for technical people, and the time to compound advantage is now.